Good morning, friends. I am Neeraj Kumar Dinkar. Today we are going to discuss about the personal protective equipments. You know that personal protective equipments is very important to use use for constructions industry and any industry where is required to use of personal protective equipment. This is a primary this is a primary responsibility of employers to provide personal protective equipment those workers involved to work at your construction project and any industry without any cost. Free of cost should be provided by the employers. This is major role of PP at workplace because of that PPE who those peoples are use of PPE only for protect one peoples. If using personal protective equipment means personal protective equipments only for one person's use of PPE only protect themselves. So guys, there is categorized of hazards as hierarchy of controls. First, eliminations of hazards. Second thing is there mentions engineering controls. And first is eliminate the hazards. Second thing substitutions, and third is there mentioned engineering control, or fourth is there mentioned administrative controls, and fifth is there mentions personal protective equipments. Means this is a last safety measures in hierarchy controls. Most of effectives eliminate the hazards, and most of last of effectives use of personal protective equipments. So guys, hazards at workplace, first try to if I first try to eliminate the hazards. Second things, if you not eliminate the hazards, then substitutions. What will be additional precautions on that workplace, and what will be engineering controls on that specific workplace, specific hazards. After that, administrative controls, and after that, each and every controls we have to taken. Then hazards will be not 100% eliminate. Each and every activity hazards to be present will be present on workplace. So guys, use of personal protective equipments in last and additional safety precaution for or those people use of personal protective equipments, those are safe of any harm, injury, any types of injury at workplace. So various personal protective equipment use different body parts. If you are using helmets, then you protect your head. If you are using earplug, then protect your ear. If you are using nose mask, then protect your lungs. If you are using eye protections, goggles, then protect your eye. And if you are using the apron, then protect your body. If you are using hand gloves, then you protect hand, fingers. And if you are using safety shoe, then protect your foot. And if you are using the shoulder pad, then protect your shoulder. If any types of irritations and pain on back pains. If you are using the safety belts, then protect your then save your life falling from height. There is many types of personal protective equipments available in that market. So this is importance of PP controlling the hazards. It is the best way to protect employee, best way to protect them only who, who are used home to use, who are used, those people are used to equipments. So it is depend on hazards. It is depend on hazards if you are using. So guys, first we have discussed about the, there are six main industry where PP is more commonly used. First is constructions project. Second in there mentions oil and gas engineering and manufacturing process, chemical and pharmaceuticals and food process, and utility work, emergency service like the you are, if you are working with any hospitals and others emergency rescue like the government's body, NDRF teams also in case of any emergency that can be used mostly of PPE. So there are mentioned six main purpose, six main industry where the use of PPE. Second thing, sensitive body part to protect. I discussed with you personal protective equipments, sensitive part of body protect for them use of PPE. So guys, PPE is a very important for us. Safety of human life, industry equipments, adequate equipments, human body is essential. The natures of product depend on hazards. It is statutory requirement. It is also statutory requirements for the use of PPE. So if you are going to use of personal protective equipments, then first depend on hazards. Second thing, selecting the best configurations of PPE. Like the you are a safety professionals, then first you have to take the IS standards. If you are using safety helmets, in markets many type of safety helmets in present for selling purpose. So as a safety professionals, as a safety managers, this is first responsibility to configurations of selecting equipments, selecting personal protective equipments at your workplace. Because of if using of some damaged PPE, some fault company and without IS mark, maybe not protect to your workers and employer. So configurations, first selections, proper fitting and manufacturing clean and good conditions. If you are using a safety helmets in markets, some safety helmets given to you and supplied to you, helmet chain strip not a proper fix, and safety shoe is less not match. So guys, first selections of PP is very important. If you are going to purchase and you have to pay the money, then 100% material should be proper purchase. After that, durations of work depend on duration. If you are using a one helmet 2 years, 1 years, then depend on your projects. So guys, yeah, if you have purchased to materials, then first check the duration of work. If your long terms durations of work, then check a good quality of materials in that markets, and which are long terms and long terms use of personal protective equipments. Trainings to workers important. So you know that as a safety professionals, if you have personal protective equipments purchase and distribute and supply to workers, then this is first responsibility to conduct a safety trainings with those peoples involved to work, and those are using of PPE. So guys, this is first time enforcing its use. You know that nowadays in constructions industry, where is no safety manager, safety officer, there is no culture of safety. Workers also not using of PPE because of they are not habit to use of PPE. So sometimes that maybe problems face if workers change to good organizations, there is mandatory to use of PPE. So that times of problem, that times of very addition to control of use of PPE because of workers they are the people are not using of helmet. Some there is where is not culture of safety. So proper monitoring, observing and consulting involvement of workers, use of PPE trainings, what is benefit of PPE if you are going to use of PPE. So explain all those type of hazards and controls and importance of PPE whenever used at construction industry. So guys, this is a basic requirements of personal protective equipments, and employer 100% ensure that there is no any workers involved to work without any personal protective equipments, and provided them free of cost continuous check damage condition of PPE not in use at workplace. This is the first responsibility all employer and ensure that. Next point is there mentions type of PPE. You know that a type of PPE, there are two types of PPE divided for use of PPE. First is A type or B type. A type means respiratory protective equipments, and B type is there mentions non-respiratory personal protective equipments. So guys, why two types of PPE divided? Because of respiratory means breathing parts and internal part of body may be should be protect, and externals means externals non-respiratory means non-respiratory means external part of body must to be protect. Those are use of PPE. So respiratory PPE is supply. You know that some examples. If you are going to work in confined space, supply air respirations means that is main purpose of use. You have to supply air respiratory means if you are going to work under the confined space into the any trench where is deficiency of oxygen levels, where is deficiency of breathings, there must be use of respiratory breathing apparatus. So guys, there are 5 type of respiratory, and first is there mentioned supply air respiratory means air lines respirators. Second thing is there suction house mask, and third is there pressure house mask, and fourth is there mentioned self content breathing apparatus. Self content breathing apparatus means automatically is self content breathing apparatus. If any deficiency of oxygen levels, that may be very useful to them. After that, air purifier respiratory means first is there mentioned supply air respiratory means you have that work is supplied to respiratory systems, and second thing air purifier respiratory system. Suppose that chemicals fall and canisters, gas mask, chemicals, cartridge type, self-rescue type, mechanical filter, combines of chemicals and mechanical filtrations. Suppose that if you are using of nose mask, that type of nose mask purify the respiratory, purify the smalls small stills airs means any bed of air, that times filters, and after that breathe by breathings, and that may protect your lungs. So guys, two types of respiratory are two types of PPE. First is A type of respiratory, or B type non-respiratory means external part of body may be your protect. Suppose that if you are using helmet, jacket, safety shoe, safety belts, safety shoe, nose, ear plugs, goggles, face shields, aprons, that all are protect to your external part of body. So guys, this is a important part of PPE. Second thing, selecting of respirator PPE. How to, if you are going to use of respiratory personal protective equipment, this is main important part of whenever used, and how to selecting that types of respiratory PPE. Suppose that if you are working in grounds, there is surrounding the area no any deficiency of oxygen levels, then you are using of respiratory system, respiratory apparatus? No, because of depend on the hazards, depend on the factors of considers. Suppose that if you are going to work underground tank, there is a deficiency of oxygen, so will be very difficult to minus. So guys, select natures of hazards. Where is nature of hazards? If you are going to work under the undergrounds, tanks, trench, and where is deficiency of oxygen levels. So guys, that types of hazards identifications. After the severity of hazards, how much severity and probability to accident, probability of health effectiveness. So second thing is their selections of hazards and potentials and severity of hazards. Both type means how much risk is there mentions severity and probability. After the type of contamination, how much times exposed, how much time inhalants of dust and fumes. So depend on that types of concentrations of contaminations that are must be considered. Contamination concentrations means if you are using in if you are going to grinding work in that into the confined space, into the water tanks, so there are maybe fumes, air and dust is very highly increased is. So guys, that time of need to be selections of your respiratory systems. After that, storage of respiratory system. You know that this is an important part, storage, because of you have to if you are going to proper maintain of respiratory PPE, then that may be maintain your health. Suppose that I am using a shirt. Today wear shirt, and after that go after that opens and throw the any place. So guys, after event again you are going to use that shirt. Not you are professionals, and not your protect to properly, because of use of personal protective equipments properly storage, and try to understand so there is no sunlight and no any oil leakage, no any inflammable materials, no any wet surface, and properly hanging up and properly covers in covers, then storage the storage of materials. And also consider if you are going to purchase that manufacturing date, and how much expiry date, and pre-decally, monthly basis, weekly basis, you have to inspect that respiratory systems, and maybe clean and clears. If maybe very dusty, then properly clean by the competent persons, and inspections should be must with recorded, because of this is a very important part of respiratory system. If not maintained proper, so that maybe workers into going to work in the confined space, there is very difficult and highly risky to use of PPE. So guys, this is a part of respiratory systems and breathing air quality. How to use of breathing air quality? Breathe from the airlines respiratory equipment must be supplied regulate the rate with the prescribed oxygen content. Ensure that supplying the breathing apparatus receive an adequate supply of breathing levels under all plants operating conditions. It's that minimum 170 liters per minute of oxygen levels. Minimum required to 170 8 liters per minute of oxygen levels if you are going to use of breathing air quality. Second, breathing air quality, and minimum temperatures will be there 15 degrees Celsius. There is temperature of air must be maintained within the range of 15 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius. So this is a importance of breathing air quality. And second thing, you know that non-respiratory systems already we have discussed, and again tomorrow we will discuss about the same part of PPE. PPE is a basic requirement, but this is importance to use and how to use, whenever use, and how much durations of use, inspections. So this is a importance and good things. If you are working a safety professional, then you should aware about the PPE, because of this is a general and basic requirements of PPE. But technically you have to aware knowledge, you have to follow that what is use of PPE whenever important. So guys, today is enough. So tomorrow we will discuss about the same topics. Thanks guys watching my video.